So you gonna think it's fire when I run that?
What up, y'all? A.Ward here. Run That Back, episode 5. Shout out to the Horsemen. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you click subscribe below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like, dislike, or if you have any recommendations for episodes in the future. Run That Back is a series where we go back to my past battles and I give y'all insight on rounds, bars, whatever it may be. This episode, we're all quarantined. Hopefully you're staying at home. And if you're anything like me, I'm a sports fanatic. And I'm dying. I'm going through withdrawals. So I'm watching replays of every game on ESPN. I'm scrolling through Twitter for free agency and mock draft talk, trying to keep sports a part of my life. So what we're going to do, I'm going to give you sports bars. Sports bars from my past battles that I liked, give you some insight on them, and you let me know if you rock with them. So sports during the quarantine, can't beat that. Let's get to the first clip. Appreciate y'all.
Character is built by how you respond. Some have fared well, some have been on welfare, but both got the same value to God. That's why I can't just sit up here and bluff for the cam. I came to tell you God can take you places hustling can't. But let's cook, Westbrook. I know you heard enough of the rant. Now back to making.
So the first clip y'all just saw was A.Ward versus Franchise. It was my King of the Dot debut. Started as a GZ, but ended up dropping on the main channel on day 3 of World Domination. So I battled Franchise as a co-main event in Toronto, his hometown. A lot of his league and all of his fans and everything there. So it kind of felt like an away game. This particular sports bar is around the time when Kevin Durant had left Oklahoma City Thunder to join the Championship Warriors, and everybody just kept calling him a Benedict Arnold, a traitor, just all kinds of negative publicity for Kevin Durant. And they're asking Russell Westbrook in all the interviews about their friendship and about why this happened. So in my round against Franchise, I'm kind of giving him a real spiel, like some welfare, farewell, like some deep, like real talk. And I get to a part where I say, like, I ain't come to bluff for the cam. I came to tell you God can take you places hustling can't. But let's cook, Westbrook. I know you heard enough of the rant. So basically, you know, I'm transitioning to let's get back to the bars. Like, I'm done preaching to you. Let's cook, Westbrook. I know you heard enough of the rant. Like, I'm done ranting, Westbrook. So anyways, one of the first bars on King of the Dot, they put it as the trailer. You could hear Cortez and Sharon and people in the background like, yo, that was crazy or whatever. But one of my probably my best bar from my first battle from King of the Dot. Dang, I miss sports. Let's get to the second one.
I said, how your name start with killer and you ain't killed nothing? That's like bill collecting, not collecting real honey. That's like hymns, never praising and worshiping. Prep showing up to freestyle. Bad news, never facing adversity. The chef not cooking. Drugs not dope enough. Rigs never riding. Cuban never smoking none. Hey, that's like Severe having a laid back pen in this battle. You gotta live up to your name. Even Marino never wins when it matters.
Alright, so this next bar comes from a battle on Gates of the Garden, my Gates of the Garden debut against a cat named Colossus. It's a 1-round battle. I'm battling Colossus, who's from Florida, down close to Miami, where he's also tight-knit with a guy named Don Marino, who battles on URL. So you can see Don Marino standing right beside him the whole entire battle. When he's battling, he's gassing up his lines. And when I'm rapping, he's got just kind of a certain, facial expression where it seems like he's just not impressed. I'm going into this whole build-up about Colossus's name starting with the word kill, but he ain't never killed nothing. So I'm comparing it to that's like prep freestyling. That's like bad news, never facing adversity. That's like street hymns, never praising and worshiping. All of these different battlers who, their name is kind of like it resembles, things that they've gone through in life. So I get to the place where I'm like, that's like Severe having a laid back pen in this battle. You got to live up to your name. I mean, hell, even Marino never wins when it matters. And it was almost just like an out of nowhere haymaker that just killed Marino. And he wasn't even my opponent. So it kind of got both of them out of there in that 2 birds, 1 stone type mentality. So a lot of people like that bar. You could see the whole crowd react. Marino's face is obviously still not impressed. And it definitely probably one of the better sports bars that I've had. Let's get to number 3.
fragrance, LeBron James greatness. You known for the prince little brother put on you. I'm sci-high writing on Fonte pages. Everything holy, think Kanye made it. All talk aside like Conway statements. At full strength, I'm beyond they favorites. So it ain't nothing to retire Bill at half like Vontae Davis.
So this particular battle, A.Ward versus Bill Collector, round one. I just got done telling Bill Collector, I got the Bible. You know I got the Bible. Everybody's cracking up. I want to switch the mood from funny to serious, right? So I go into a big build-up, punches all along, just to get to this heavy sports bar. I said, scratch that. This round, Yahweh's sacred. Heat like Beyonce fragrance, LeBron James greatness. You known for the prince little brother left on you. I'm sci-high writing on Fonte pages. So that bar, right? Bill Collector was known for Hitman's little brother hitting him. His head swelled up, right? So you known for the prince little brother left on you. And then Prince and little brother, sci-high the prince, Fonte's a part of little brother. So I'm sci-high writing on Fonte pages. Everything holy, think Kanye made it. All talk aside like Conway statements. Now, here we are 2020. Everybody knows who Griselda is. In 2018, it was a little bit less known who Conway was. West Side Gun, Benny the Butcher. Conway got shot in the back of his head, I believe. I think that's where he got shot. And when he talks, his mouth is kind of on the side of his face. So after all of his surgeries, that's just kind of how it looks. So all talk aside like Conway statements. And then here's where we get to the sports bar. At full strength, I'm beyond they favorites. So it wasn't nothing to retire Bill at half like Vontae Davis. So Vontae Davis is a defensive back for the Buffalo Bills who just had recently retired at halftime. Went in halftime during the game and said, you know what, I don't got love for it anymore. I'm done. So basically the setup is that when I'm at 100%, nobody can beat me. At half, I can still smoke Bill Collector. So it's a name flip. So at full strength, I'm beyond they favorites. So it wasn't nothing to retire Bill at half like Vontae Davis. Just a heavy build up, a lot of punches. Crowd went crazy. So I appreciate y'all tuning into that one. Let's get to the next bar.
You ain't retired and your team having to pick up flex like the waiver wire. I'm that nice. We not done yet. There's a lot more advice left to give them. See, you wanted this battle judged, feeling overlooked as the next contender. So the fantasy football reference got a deeper message with it. Because ever since my GZ, ironically, I've been the franchise. Adding me was their best addition. And we don't know if you wide receiver or running back. In other words, anybody could be up here in flex position. Let's talk.
All right, so what you just saw was round one, A.Ward versus Mad Flex, Town Business, Oakland, California. I'm battling Mad Flex. Shout out to him. Probably the most underrated battler, period, in my opinion. A great talent. And I'm name flipping off Flex. So I get to the point to where I'm saying, you know, his team's going to have to pick up Flex like the waiver wire. And then I go into this fantasy football bar where I say the fantasy football reference has a deeper message with it. Because ironically, since my GZ, I've been the franchise. Keeping me was their best decision. So I battled franchise on my GZ, as I mentioned before. So it's ironic that now I'm the franchise of King of the Dot. I'm that guy. I'm getting the plates. I'm the one they talk about. So I'm like, it's ironic that ever since my GZ, I've been the franchise QB. Keeping me was their best decision. And you, well, you could be wide receiver, running back. I mean, anybody could be up here in flex position. So if you play fantasy football, you know the flex position, you could start a wide receiver, a tight end, a running back, just about any position you could start in that spot. So basically the angle is that, you know, you're run of the mill. They could just pick anybody and bring them up here, whatever. I'm the quarterback. Only I can be up here. So it's a fantasy football reference. It's a name flip. It comes right off the whole team picking up flex like the waiver wire. And it's just a real creative way to kind of incorporate fantasy football with Mad Flex's name. So hope y'all liked it. Let's get to the next one.
Let me see it.
Don't let up. What is he talking about? Don't let up.
Don't let your veins pop.
Go. Let this be a lesson to you. Let this be a lesson to you. When you're a teenager, all your favorite rappers become a blessing to you. My top list included X and Luda, Nas, Hova, Royce, Budden, then Cash Money after the game like Odell Beckham Jr. I'm stepping to you. I said I'm stepping to you.
So check it out. The clip you just watched was from me versus Mac Myron, round 2. I'm going into this hip-hop theme piece, and I start out with, let this be a lesson to you. When you growing up, your favorite rappers are like a blessing to you. I mean, my list consisted of X and Luda, Nas, Hova, Royce, Budden, then Cash Money after the game like Odell Beckham Jr. So the national championship obviously just happened a few, I think, weeks ago. And after LSU Tigers won a national championship, you see Odell Beckham Jr. on the field handing out money. Some people said it was fake money. Some people said it was monopoly money. Some people said it was real money. But at the point in time that this battle is happening, everybody on SportsCenter and ESPN is talking about why is Odell Beckham Jr. giving money out to college athletes and all of the skepticism and everything going around it. So I take the sports bar, and it's not even, it kind of comes out of nowhere because I'm talking about hip hop. So I'm talking about my list was DMX, Ludacris, Nas, Hova, Royce, Joe Budden, and then Cash Money. Like I listen to Hot Boys, I listen to Cash Money records, a lot of that from the South, and the game. So I say Cash Money after the game, and then that's out of nowhere. Odell Beckham Jr. reference comes out, and it hits. It's clean. One of my favorite lines in that whole battle. So another sports bar for you. Let's get to this next one.
Stop. Just let him tell it over. He stacked bodies on top of bodies like he can smell an odor. Oh, you can, sir? Well, what gets under my skin like melanoma is the fact you only beat a couple backup PGs. I nobody brag about crossing up Deladova. I'm the real soldier. I'm not a
Yo, so what you just saw was A.Ward versus St. Mike. Another first round. Seems to be a theme here. I'm battling him in my first round. First real test in Battle Rap 2. And I'm going into a particular angle about how St. Mike had been on URL. He battled like Anubis. He battled Young X. He battled a couple guys that were known as PGs. And this particular part, I say something before I got performance for days like Woodstock. I wish you would stop. Because let him tell it over. He stacked bodies on top of bodies like he could smell an odor. Oh, you can, sir? Well, what gets under my skin like melanoma is the fact you only beat a couple backup PGs. Don't nobody brag about crossing up Deladova. So the punchline is definitely a shot at Matthew Deladova, a backup point guard. But the angle is also like who really cares that you crossed up somebody who's not even a starter, not a franchise player. Who really cares that you beat some of these nobodies at the time? And so there's the sports reference there with Matthew Dellavedova. Shout out to him, good ball player, whatever. But it's also just a shot at St. Mike saying like what you think you've done is really not that impressive to me. So let's get to the next one.
Shaq. Over here, you need a gas mask. Where I'm from, you be laughed at. But Alex Attenborough had dreams of being in the MLB, making fat stacks, wanted to grab bats, swing for the fences and pad stats. But you were mediocre at baseball too. That's facts. Ironic, your initials are AA and you couldn't get past that.
But not least, A.Ward versus Apex. Shout out to my Beast Mode family. Shout out to The Room, Witty Smitty, my homie Chris, and the whole league that brought me out there to battle Apex. This comes from the first round. I remember Witty Smitty made a comment on Facebook and said this was the first haymaker personal angle name flip that he'd ever seen in his entire life. Like everything was encompassed in this bar. So I'm battling a guy named Apex. His real name's Alex Attenborough. And in the first round, I go into an angle about how he's like a semi-professional baseball player. He plays in Canada on different teams or whatever. And I say something to the extent of, but Alex Attenborough had dreams of being in the MLB. He wanted to grab bats, swing for the fences, and pad stats. But you were mediocre at baseball too. That's facts. It's ironic your initials are AA and you couldn't get past that. So the angle is that he plays baseball. He was mediocre. That's why he's semi-pro. I go ahead and start off saying his full name, Alex Attenborough, so that the consumer or the listener knows when I say your initials are AA, they are AA. And then AA is obviously affiliation of Major League Baseball. So you have the MLB, AAA, AA, Single A, all of these different these different platforms, different rankings of how you move up to get in to Major League Baseball. So so there's the last sports bar for you. I'm gonna tag a few of them on here at the end that I'm not gonna explain like last time, but I appreciate y'all tuning in. Please, like I said, stay at home and love your family members, love God, love people, and enjoy, hopefully, whatever you can enjoy during this quarantine time. Appreciate y'all. Horseman YTG died daily. God is good.
I'm overdosing. It's real clear. You about 5'2". When I apply pressure, it feels weird. No, 5'2", apply pressure. Yeah, Oakland gets to bear witness to ill sphere when I take a Lil Mac away and y'all wish he was still here. Yeah. Ever since I came to the six, I've been a starter. I ain't playing the bench. Every move calculated. I do it the best. You in distress. Miami Hurricanes. What that got to do with the rest? Well, you turn over for the chain, and now I got you at my neck. You wishy-washy. Y'all showed it, dude, love like the Foley wrestler. Fresh Coast, I came looking for smoke on a higher level and feel like y'all sold me regular. Well, I slide on them. No laces, up front, co-payer, stick and move, Joe Frazier, drop P, probation. How's it a rookie move? When I let Aaron judge the right before the left swing like Cody Bellinger, I'm that nice.